பார்த்துக்கலாம் அவங்க சேஞ்ச் பண்ணும்போது ஆகாது ஸ்லிப்பாக. So good morning. So dear respected dignitaries and dear participants, so we welcome you all for this roadshow event of Global Bio India 2024, so which is to be held between 12 to 14 September at Pragati Maidan, Delhi. So we are certainly thrilled to have you all join us for this pivotal event where the innovation meets the opportunity in the world of biotechnology. So today we have eminent speakers and our chief guest, Ms. Poonam Bishnani from BIRAC. So they have all joined with us. So welcome you all, speakers and madam. So now I request our director, Dr. Balachandran A, VAT TBA, to address the gathering. Thank you.
Ms. Poonam, Officer Equity Investments, BIRAC, Professor Vijay, our well-wisher and veteran in the field of biosciences, Professor Jaiprakash, Director CBST, Professor Nisha, Dr. Ravi, other faculty members, students, good morning to you all. So this is an important event, Global Bio India's roadshow here. So some of you may be aware that as India is marching towards a $5 trillion economy, bio is a significant contributor. It is advancing in many spheres, whether it is a core biotechnology, pharma, or medtech, agritech. So there are abundant opportunities for researchers to translate your research efforts into products and services to address the challenges of the society, in addition also protect your intellectual property rights and eventually prosper out of the wealth that is created. So that's the state today. In order to celebrate the successes, achievements, and also showcase the opportunities, BIRAC has been organizing this Global Bio India every year. As part of this Global Bio India, which is scheduled to happen from 12th to 14th September in Delhi, Pragati Maidan, so we associated with BIRAC to showcase this event. So some of you may want to take inspiration out of this and also take efforts to join GBI and follow the events therein. So that's the very intent of this program. So we immensely thank BIRAC for the continued support. We have been associated with BIRAC. Some of you may not know what BIRAC is. BIRAC is a Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, an autonomous body under the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. So BIRAC has, in its 10 years journey, has significantly contributed in many spheres. So, to begin with, the innovation grants, which has become a flagship program, Biotechnology Ignition Grant. Thousands of such grants have helped individual innovators to test their ideas and eventually further move towards products and launch their startups. And BIRAC also has established close to 100 bio-incubators, which are known as BioNest centers. And BIRAC also launched several funding programs, equity programs, and probably Ms. Poonam would provide details on that. So the intent is, please be aware of the opportunities and make use of the opportunities. And so at VAT TBI also, which is a 21-year-old organization, so we have been providing concept to commercialization support to technology entrepreneurs. So biotechnology has been one of our thrust areas since our inception in the year 2003. And we have also been supporting medtech and allied agri-tech and projects related to even energy in a way under our BIRAC scheme. So we have established a facility for product development and testing with generous support from BIRAC in the year 2017. And so 10 of our incubators also have become big grantees, and 9 of them we have also supported under our BIRAC's seed fund, and some of them even went on to raise follow-on funding from market. And so the intent is the trigger comes from a unique scheme, which is BIRAC, which then percolates down to the length and breadth of the country. And please, also as part of this launch event, we have scheduled some talks, including intellectual property rights, and I've also requested Professor Vijay to share our thoughts from our extensive experience in the biodomain spanning across continents. She will be in a position to provide some insights on the emerging opportunities for those who are in the research field to translate their work. And Professor Jaiprakash also has agreed to address, and Dr. Ravi Kiran has come from Bangalore, is one of our successful startups, and in the diagnostic space, so he's also going to share some of his experiences. And Professor Nisha is from the Weil School, the Agri School of VIT, so she's also going to launch the Ideathon during this event. So we have lined up some interesting sessions the next 2 hours. So please make use of the opportunities, inform some of your friends who are not in the room also to join in if they are free. So with these words, once again thank BIRAC for the continued support, and thank Ms. Poonam for joining in person for this event, and wishing you all the best, and thank you.
So thank you, sir, for your warm welcome. Now I welcome Ms. Poonam Bishnani, Officer Equity Schemes BIRAC, to introduce about the Global BioIndia event to the participants. So Ms. Poonam Bishnani, she has a very brief experience of working with startups. Thereby she is contributing in multitude of activities for promoting VCs and angel investments in biotech sector. Thereby she is nurturing the entrepreneurship ecosystem in the country. So we are glad to have her here. So I'm requesting you to share your insights with the participants.
Hello everyone. Good morning all the participants, students, startup entrepreneurs, and the VIT team present here. Thank you for joining in for the roadshow program. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Balachandran and the entire VIT team for putting in an efforts to organize the sessions. I am Poonam Bishnani, Officer Equity Schemes at BIRAC. I will be introducing you to the upcoming mega event, Global Bio India 2024, from 12 to 14 September, Pragriti Maidan, New Delhi. What I will do is, I will be presenting my couple of slides in 2 parts. One about the Global Bio India, also covering the funding opportunities available there. And second, I will be talking on the equity funding program which BIRAC offers to the biotech startups. Let's begin with. So from last decade, Indian biotech innovation landscape has transformed tremendously into maybe 10-fold or 15-fold so far. These transformations are driven by innovation, strategic investments, and the collaborative efforts between the funding agencies, incubators, stakeholders, investors, startups, and other. If you see the biotech startup, it was very fewer in 2014 that were 700, close to 700. And now has transformed more than 7,000 in 2024. The Biotech Incubation Center, which were 6 in 2014, now we have 95 Bioness Incubation Center across the country, including the EUA centers. If we look at the incubation space supported per square feet, there were 60,000 in the year 2014 and has now multiplied to 15-fold of 9 lakh square feet across the country, which is giving more space to the innovators and startups to make the innovations. On a financial front also, this sector has attracted 5,500 crores of follow-on funding raised. Apart from that, this growth has been also translated substantially into generation of the jobs, which were 35,000 in the year 2024 from 500 in the year 2014. Moving further, let me now introduce you to the BIRAC. BIRAC is a Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council. The main objective of BIRAC is to nurture and strengthen the biotech innovation into the country. The biotech sector is known for its heavy investments, high risk, long gestation period, low success, but with the high rewards. These sectors we support like healthcare, industrial biotech, agriculture, waste management, sanitation, and the allied areas which more or less relevant to the life sciences sector. What BIRAC is? BIRAC is a Government of India enterprises registered as a not-for-profit company, Section 8 company under Companies Act. It operates under Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology. The BIRAC was established in the year 2012 and has completed more than 10 years now. What BIRAC does? The main objective of BIRAC is to nurture and strengthen the biotech innovation. BIRAC does this through supporting startup entrepreneurs, innovators, SMEs, bio-incubators and others. In order to achieve this objective, BIRAC has come up with various funding opportunities and programs. Let's start with the incubation center. To support the incubation centers, large universities, not-for-profit organizations, we can say institutes, academia, we support them through funding opportunities and mentorships through BioNest and EUA program. Under BioNest scheme, BIRAC has supported 75 incubation centers, and under EUA program, we have come up with the 2025 EUA center, which is also called as pre-incubation center. What is EUA? EUA is a program where BIRAC gives funding to the universities or institutes, which in turn support to the students who get the fellowship from those schemes. Coming to the early stage funding and translation program, BIRAC supports the early stage startups or innovator through its BIG, SIIP and PACE program. BIRAC also support at an advanced stage of funding where the startup reach to the certain level pre-commercialization or a commercialization through its BIPP and SIBRI program. BIRAC do have certain equity funding program wherein BIRAC takes certain equity stakes into the startups in order to give the fundings. Those schemes are Seed Fund program, Leaf Fund program, ACE Fund and BioAngels program. All these activities are supplemented by various national and international partnerships. We also have certain mission programs such as Grand Challenges India, National Biopharma Mission, INDICEPI, Make in India and Startup India. These schemes also launches certain initiatives to support the innovation into the life sciences sector. This presentation gives you a glimpse of BIRAC quantitative achievements so far over more than 10 years. If we look at the figures, more than 4,800 startups and other beneficiaries has been supported. The valuation, cumulative valuation of these startups had come to around more than 1300 crores so far. The products which are in market now had taken a support in any way from BIREX opportunities are more than 800. We have been able to do a collective efforts through our national and international partnerships of more than 100 and so far. You can have a look at these figures which gives you a collective efforts of impact created by BIREX so far. So this is the Bioness incubation and EUA which we have talked in my earlier slides as well. The Bioness incubation was started in the year 2011 and 12 and has supported 75 incubation centers so far. The EUA center, which is a pre-incubation center to support the students from PG, postdoc and PhDs, are also started in the year 2011 and 12 and have established the centers across the country. This pictorial gives you certain glimpse of the incubation facilities available for the innovations, provides equipments and other facilities. So now let's come to the Global Bio India. It is a mega international event to bring the biotechnology stakeholders an opportunity and together at a one platform where the interaction and collaborations can happen. The Global Bio India is a business meeting platform to strengthen and showcase India's biotech ecosystem. The event is from 12 to 14 September at New Delhi. The registrations are open now at Global Bio India website. The discussion focus of this time's Global Bio India is biomanufacturing, capacity building, clinical trials, drug discovery, regulation and policies. This is a highlight of previous edition of Global Bio India 2023. More than 5,600 delegates attended the past event. More than 25 countries and representation from 8 states were seen during those times. 200 universities and research institutes, more than 100 bioincubators collaborated with the more than 300 industries and academia. More than 40 startup pitching sessions organized and close to 35 investors participated during the event. This is gives you the highlight again of the previous edition held from in the month of December 2023. So BIREC invites you all to attend the event this time from 12 to 14 September. Who can be interested to attend this event? Large industries, SMEs, startups, entrepreneurs, innovators, students who are working all in the biotech or life sciences related fields. Investors seeking opportunity to invest in biotechnology sector. Industry associate, bioincubators, enablers are found this event interesting and may reach out to exploring the connects and collaborations with the stakeholders. The focus areas of this time Global Bio India will be biopharma, bioagri, bioindustrial, bioenergy, biosciences and medtech. We are proudly a first India, first in a position to have a COVID developed indigenously vaccine in India. We are a second highest number of USFDA approved manufacturing plant outside the USA. We also have a proud that we are a third largest biotech destination in the global South Asia. And other facts are as displayed in the slides. What are the key elements of Global Bio India 2024? It involves biopartnering, B2B, B2G, G2G meetings, policy dialogues, startup pitching sessions, investors roundtables, CEO roundtables, country and state pavilions, exhibitions from incubators, startups, ministries, departments, and others. Biopartnering is a one-on-one meeting between the stakeholders, whoever you want to connect in, with the investors, incubators, startups, and others. The steps involved in the biopartnering is creating your organization profile, making your availability, searching for the organizations to meet with, sending and accepting meeting requests, attending your meetings, and that's it. If you have any queries regarding Global Bio India with regards to registration, exhibition, media inquiries, investor inquiry, you can reach out to these email IDs and contact numbers. Now I will be covering the second part of my presentation about the equity funding program which BIRAC offers. BIRAC has 4 equity funding schemes. One is a seed fund program, which is Sustainable Entrepreneurship Enterprise Development Fund. It supports startups up to 30 lakh per startup. The LEAP fund is launching entrepreneur-driven affordable products. It provides up to 1 crore per startup. ACE fund, it is implemented through AIF, Alternate Investment Fund Venture Capital Funds, which supports up to 7 crores per startups. And we have a BioAngels network. It is a platform where startups get connected with the angel investors. I will be covering in detail each scheme in my upcoming slides. Seed fund. It is a first ever equity exposure to the biotech startups with new and meritorious idea. It supports up to 30 lakh per startups. The fund is positioned to act as a bridge between promoter investment, angel investments, and others. The eligibility for the startup should be registered under Companies Act 2013 and having at least 51% of the shareholding as an Indian citizen. These schemes are implemented through our Bioness Incubation Center, who act as a seed fund partner and manages the equity. The impact created by these schemes so far are the seed fund partners, 16 were supported so far. These 16 seed fund partners are in turn able to support 140 startups. Out of these 140 startups, 96 startups are able to raise the follow-on funding from the market, which is cumulatively 720 crores. The valuation of 124 startup is close to 4,000 crores. And jobs created and other growths have also been achieved. The 16 seed fund partners are displayed at these slides, which are EDC Venture Center Pune, CCamp Bangalore, Sign IIT Bombay, and VIT Vellore is one of the BIRAC seed fund partner. BIRAC LEAP Fund. LEAP Fund is a program where BIRAC supports up to 100 lakh per startups. These startups, the eligibility is same for the seed fund partners as well. It is also implemented through Bionest Incubation Center, who act as a LEAP fund partner. We have 6 LEAP fund partners. These 6 LEAP fund partners have supported 59 startups so far. Out of these 59, 40 startups were able to raise the follow-on funding, and the valuation of 57 startups is 2,500 crores. These are the 6 LEAP fund partners. ACE fund. Let's now, this is a different set of scheme compared to the seed and LEAP fund which we have seen. Under the LEAP fund, the main objective of the program is to foster R&D and innovation in the biotechnology program. BIRAC implement these schemes on behalf of DBT, and it was started in the year 2017-18 with 115 crores of corpus. The ACE fund invest and partner with SEBI registered AIF. AIFs are alternate investment funds. These are venture capital funds and angel funds, which manages the funds and invest in the biotech sector. These ACE fund partners are committed to invest 2x of BIREC's investment into the startups and SMEs. So, the impact of ACE fund so far is 16 ACE fund partners have supported 88 startups. The investments done by BIREC is 174 crores. The investments commitment by AIF is 349. However, 1,172 crores investments has already been achieved. These are the 16 ACE fund partners, daughter funds across the country. These are Idea Spring Capital, Alchemy Ventures, Kitwin Fund based out of Bangalore, NAB Ventures Funds and India Partners. The Bio Angels program. It is a platform where startups, early stage startups will be connected to the angel investors who are looking to invest in the biotech startups. It is being implemented by Indian Angel Network IN, and it is positioned to become India's single largest horizontal platform for seed and early stage investing. Apart from these equity schemes, BIREC also have a biotech showcase e-portal where 750 BIREC supported products have been available and searchable globally at the portal. We have a presence at national and international showcasing platform where Ignite, BioKorea, Slush and Incubator Exchange and other countries we have participated. Apart from that, we also have a program management units at BIREC, which launches various equity funding programs and other biotech related initiatives to support the innovation into the life sciences. These are INDICEPI, National Biopharma Mission, Grand Challenges India, Mission COVID Suraksha and others. I'll stop here and open for the question and answer if anybody have. Thank you.
So participants, anyone have questions?
No, it was 30 lakhs only. We are proposing to increase it to 50 lakhs.
Thank you.
What we are asking, because the big did not mention the word big grant, it used to be 50 lakhs. So this 30 lakhs, what you are proposing now is same as big grant or is it different?
It is different, ma'am.
It's
BIG
different.
we
Okay,
have
that's
a
what.
program.
Okay, he
Yeah.
got the answer.
Yeah.
It's not reduced. It's different. Okay. Yeah.
So thank you, Ms. Poonam, for your brief introduction. Now I may request our eminent professor, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, to facilitate our chief guest, Ms. Poonam, with a memento.
Yeah, I'll do that. With pleasure. Yeah. One of our, what should I say, I don't know. One of our godmother, I would say godmother, because all of you have been women helping us, except a human. So it has been very great thing, and your talk was very inspiring and got all the information that's needed. Hope we will use it and come with something good. Yes. Sure. And this is my pleasure. Yeah. Yeah.
हम यहाँ पे।
Then it's okay. Yeah.
Now I may request our eminent professor and researcher, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, to share her insights with the participants.
No, I am not going to talk anything with data or anything. because I was not knowing that I have to talk, otherwise I would have prepared some data. But it's my great pleasure, however, because it's good to see many of our youngsters of different levels here. That means there is the fire of invention and fire of exploitation of the invention in VIT, which is ignited by Dr. Balachandar in 2005, and he has been running a very good structure from 2005 without never getting angry. He will always smile, he will always be soft. So I think I admire him for that, and in fact I consult him for many of our things also. So now coming to startup or coming to exploit. See, many of you work very hard, but unfortunately many times your target will be only publication. Yes, publication is important, but exploitation is equally important. So for example, if you do something and you feel excited, it is good. Go and discuss with some experts without really giving, because you are a confidentiality problem. So that I think has to be trained in your formation, and you have to see where it stands. For example, I had this very recently. We found one student found very, very interesting thing. I said, patent. But then some other people, no. I said, no. And then I went and discussed with some few big people without revealing what exactly, but just outline. So they all promoted the patent, so we have done that. So this should be the way youngsters should feel. You are all working very hard and very intelligent. In fact, I feel the present generation is good and you have the spirit. So you should also see how you can go ahead with your invention, not only scientifically, but in terms of exploitation and getting it to the public. So this should be the attitude. Innovation, when does it come? You are working, you should observe. You should observe, like, I don't know what, how to compare, and see if there is something. You should really just sit down and think and say what I can do. Even if you do not have money, go and talk to people. There are different structures. For example, I have done that a couple of times or even more with Dr. Balachandar. I think he will say maybe, because I say, oh, how can we do that? So he is my first contact here, I do that. Or I go to my friends in Bairak and say, oh, this is there. Then they said, why don't we do? That's how I started a big action in IIT Research Park, where you can, not only my data, but everybody's data. If there is something interesting, why not take it and develop it and give it to company, to some other company, existing company. So that's also possible, not only your own startup, but you have something, so you can develop it in coordination or in collaboration with some companies. I think that kind of a thing should be promoted both by our teachers. Some of them are doing it very well already. So we have to come up with that, because India is emerging. You know that we are now not anymore underdeveloped country like what I went through when I was abroad. Ill-treated because underdeveloped this and that. But today we are a developed country. So using that, I think you can develop yourself individually to come up, everyone. So I think the main important thing is, when you are doing your science, be vigilant with yourself, observe. You discuss with yourself and maybe with some confidential people with whom you have confidence and good rapport, and then find out how you can go ahead to get something out of it to be used by everybody. So I think this innovation has a few steps: clear observation, association, and then see what is the project it in front of you to highest level to see where it can reach, how you can get the product, and how you can exploit it. Come back again practically on the ground, to the ground, and see how you can exploit it
and what are the potentials, what are the possibilities. So with this, I wish all of you very good success, either as people coming out with product or helping from a company, existing companies to even come out with products. Because everybody cannot go and start a company, but you can help the companies existing. So the company should also be open enough to come and discuss. I had some good guys here who used to come and discuss, and we used to feel really that we can do a lot of things. So with this message, I wish all of you excellent success in biofield. VIT, of course, is one of the leading things. Please keep it and come up more. And with this, thank you. And I would also give my special thanks to Poonam Bisnani, who had been excellent in giving, because it was really clear what you can do, how BIRAC can be helpful to you. She gave a very clear, comprehensive, all-inclusive data, which I think maybe it will be good if we can get that in a kind of a written form. So we can use it, and there are so much potential there with their structure to help all of us to come up. Not anymore me, because you know I'm at the other end of the life. So for all of you, I wish you all the best, good success, and thank Dr. Balachandar for organizing this get-together and also giving an opportunity to speak for a few minutes. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, for your inspiring talk. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Ravi Kiran, so the Managing Director and founder of MedV Plus and Thishia's Biomedical Medical Devices Private Limited. So I would request him to share his incredible journey of startup. So we welcome you, sir.
I think this is fine. Hello everyone, good morning. You all excited to be here? I'm very excited to be here. Usually I start my talk by thanking the host for giving me an opportunity to speak, but now I want to thank host along with Dr. Bala, Sudha ma'am, for making what MedV Plus is now, you know, not just for giving these opportunities, but because of VIT TBI, MedV Plus is where it is right now. A small glimpse where it is right now. We just crossed 1 crore exports by end of this quarter. Thank you, Dr. Bala. All right, so when Sudha ma'am and Dr. Bala asked me to speak about my biotech journey, startup journey, which was for 6 years, I have to condense it into 10 minutes. I thought I will list out some 4 to 5 important points and how certain situations, like a case study, that we had to do in order to pass through that stages, right? So I'll start with how it all began, what actually happened, right? Back in 2014, I was a product development engineer in a company called Bioptigen, that is in North Carolina, North Carolina in US. And I had the opportunity to bring the device that Bioptigen was building. It was an intrasurgical OCT. I'll go about the details in a little while. To bring it to India at Narayana Nethralaya, which is in Bangalore, and then discuss with the doctors how well we can improve the device, right? That's a part of my job. So when I was there, one of the things that happened was I was used to the culture where after 5:36 p.m. you do not work, you'll have a lot of time, fun time and etc. And I was assuming that, okay, doctors will be tired after doing so many surgeries, and by 5:36 I'll be free and I can have fun with my girlfriend. All those things I had in my mind. But when I came here with the device, I saw even after multiple surgeries, doctors wanted to use the device because the device was there only for a month's time, right? And exploit the device. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi has told, exploit the things, right? That's very, very powerful term. So doctors were exploiting the new advanced technology so well, and that prompted me to start a company which will allow the doctors to use these advanced technologies on a regular basis. Now, even a big hospital was unable to afford a costly device like 1.5 crore. And not only just the cost, it's also about how to use it in their particular applications, right? So that was the ignition. That is where the idea of starting, the passion had developed. Why should we start a company? Because there needs to be some passion behind, right? You will, and that's again what Dr. Vijay Lakshmi had told, observe. When you keep observing things, that slowly fuels your passion, right? Through that observation, what happened to me in my case is, okay, doctors need advanced technologies and there's nobody who is developing it in India. Then I started approaching my CEO, said, see, we'll start a manufacturing hub in India where we will manufacture your product. But back then I thought it was unfortunate, but now I feel that it's very fortunate that it didn't happen. It didn't happen because a bigger company called Leica Microsystems took over the company. And then that's how it started. Then in 2017 when I was back, 2018, and all this while I've been thinking how to start a company, and then I was thinking to develop this advanced technology. We need a huge capital. How do I bring in that capital? I don't think we have access to those funds. But then in 2018, around November, December time frame, I had the opportunity to give a very crude pitch deck in a very small room. You know, during when I was entering the room, I was thinking, do I really have to come here? And then in a small room, I gave a presentation, and that is the first time I met Dr. Bala. And in that room, I gave the presentation. I'm pretty sure even now he'll tell the presentation was really horrible. And then he called me after the presentation and said, well, let's build it together. You know what things were going on in my mind after that, after speaking to a lot of people? Oh, no, don't give away your idea like that. Don't speak your idea so freely with academics, especially, because the concept of copying is more sounds scary than what it is. Because so far, nobody has copied any of my ideas. Some ideas we cannot develop ourselves, right? We will be very happy if those are copied, because we cannot build it ourselves. So the second most important part of my journey is don't fear to speak about your ideas. That's second thing that I have learned and I've implemented as well. Then Dr. Bala gave me the opportunity to start here, and we started with a 10 lakh grant from Nidhi Prayas. That was a first turning point. Nidhi Prayas grant, and I remember even now every time I come to VIT, I remember I used to stay at Bangalore and then take the train in the morning, come here, build the device along with two others, and a lot of interns. And I think all the interns are now very well settled. I thank them a lot for providing the initial support. And then once the prototype was ready, that is when helped us get the BIRAC seed. You see again, at that point, at Nidhi Prayas, when we received the 10 lakh grant, again, a lot of things were going on in my mind. 10 lakhs will do nothing. This is too less. Should we take it? Should we not take it? Until now, people keep asking me, fresh entrepreneurs, no, 10 lakhs is not enough at all. We need like 2-3 crores. Said that would be a starting point, right? Always. And after that, we received this BIRAC seed. And that's why I was telling Poonam ma'am that Birac shaped our company through VIT. So with Birac Seed, we ensured that it is a MVP. Like, it's good enough to display it to the doctors, good enough to take feedback from the doctors. And the feedback helped us get BIG. That was another 46.15 lakh. And with BIG, we started doing clinical studies. And that helped us get Elevate grant, which is a Karnataka government grant. And with that Elevate grant, we were able to get our CDSCO A certificate and all the regulations. And then we started getting into the market as well. So now you see that 10 lakh is so much, right? 10 lakhs is not small, it's the biggest amount that we actually received. But what fueled all these? Every now and then, we keep getting so low times, and that is when you need everybody's support as well. Many a times, we spoke to Dr. Bala. With BIG, I distinctly remember, and I keep telling everybody that we failed twice, 2 times. And third time, I just didn't want to apply anymore. I was like, I spent so much time, and then I just didn't want to apply anymore. And first time we went to the last round, and then the second time we lost it in the first round itself. But Dr. Bala told me only just one thing, very simple thing. You have already did everything. It doesn't hurt to apply one more time. And he convinced me literally. We were applying for money, and he convinced us. And then third time we made it. We made the entire amount. So again, one of the learnings I had there was, keep trying, right? And these kind of supports are very much needed, and especially even lately. Now I'm very proud to be here. 6-7 months back, we were struggling. I was meeting Dr. Bala in his office, and I was telling, we are unable to make sales. What to do, right? Again, Dr. Bala was like, don't worry. He gave a strategy where he asked us to approach from the place where the doctor's use case. We have to divide our whole sales structure in such a way that it starts with the use case. I mean, we were doing the use case itself, but a different type of use case has to be looked upon. Again, there will be a lot of situations where it will be a chicken and egg situations, right? Whether the chicken came first or the egg came first. How do you solve those issues? And I think over these 6 years, what I realized is 2 things. One is you should keep going no matter what, no matter what people say, no matter what things are. If you keep going, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and then solve those problems such as these chicken and egg problems. I'll tell you one example. So we had to sell, after Dr. Bala's advice, we started showcasing our device to as many use cases as possible. And one of the use case which we did not market it for, was our first sale, was for a home care in US. So the first sale happened is to US, but then to sell it in US you need FDA approval. And to get an FDA approval you have to install in US and get some data. You see, how is it possible, right? It's like either you have to do this or that. And then you can give it for free and then get the data and then sell it again. But for that you need money. So so many things. So what did we do? We put our brains together, and then we realized that there is a way called IDE, Investigational Device Exempt. Through that route, and the product has to be really good, by the way, So the product was so good that our buyers said, okay, don't worry about FDA approval, I will find a route to bring it to US through IDE. And the first IDE happened, and that's the solution for the chicken and egg problem, and that keeps follow on. Now, after that US, we also had another sale at Paraguay. 2 weeks back, we had another sale in Greece, and last night we got another order from US again. So all these are under IDE. Now, again, if we wouldn't have solved that problem, thinking that, okay, come on, that's okay, we cannot, it seems like selling it to US without FDA is a very big, crazy thing, right? But sometimes nothing is too big. It turned out that they are the very first adopters. And that followed on. So that's another most important thing which I would say, that solving these problems at that moment is very, very important, rather than trying to find a workaround. You know, we have to face the problem and try to solve it. So those are very tough, and that is what makes an entrepreneur. You know, solving the tough problems with simplicity makes you a good entrepreneur. And you know, during your school, I was thinking, what made me solve this problem so boldly, right? And that is when I think you are in that stage right now. You observe, you absorb all these tough things. I remember the first University of Houston, when I got my first internship, or rather the job, the on-campus job, I had to go to the library. There was no laptop at the time. So I had to go to the library at 4 a.m. And these things, instead of cribbing around, we have to find a solution, right? So that's one more thing. I think I covered all of. Is it? Do I have enough time, or 2-3 minutes? Okay. So I'm glad. I like to address students a lot, because while I was a student, now every time I have a problem, I reflect upon one of the days that I had been through during my student life. So again, like Dr. Vijay had told, observe and then keep going. So the last 1 minute I would like to spend on what we build, right? I think everybody is thinking, what do we do? How are we able to make these exports, right? So we developed a 3D imaging technology which allows scanning of the eye at anywhere, by anyone. So again, as I told in the beginning of my talk, that the accessibility of this deep technology to the doctors is what was missing. That was the problem statement, right? What we did, we made a very tiny device, easy to use device, so easy that the other day we got a call from LV Prasad. One of the doctors in LV Prasad had a heart attack, and he recovered from that, but his vision was going low. And then we didn't have any personnel available at that time to go to LV Prasad and do the scanning. Guess what we did? We just shipped the device, told them how to use it over the phone, and then they could do it. So that's easily accessible, is our device. So the scanning of the eye allows you to give the 3D information of the eye, the thickness values of the eye. With those thickness value of the eye, you can early diagnose glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, retina tears, corneal opacities. It's like a comprehensive screening of the eye can be done using this particular device. This is what we have built, and we received orders from ranging from optometrists to ophthalmologists to NGOs. All of them have purchased it, majority for camp settings, home care, and operation theater, and pediatrics. Pediatrics is something that, again, when we were struggling, after my discussion with Dr. Bala, when we were discussing about the use cases, then we realized that there is this use case for pediatrics there is no company who is doing it. That's a small, very small market size. But since we developed our device in such a way that it can scan right from age 0 to 90 and above, right? So we thought, since there is no competition here, let's try and position our product for this first, the go-to-market, the first entry of the market. And so for pediatrics, in India, pediatricians purchased our device. So this is how the entire journey, and I hope you guys felt that it's good, and you all try to either start your own companies, or more than the thing is the impact has to be there. You know, that will make you feel really good. Yeah. All good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Ravi Kiran, for sharing your wonderful experience with your startup endeavor. Now I request to call upon Dr. Amitava Mukherjee, Professor and Director of Center for Biotechnology, Center for Nanobiotechnology, VIT, to share his knowledge on intellectual property and its potentiality from lab to market. So we welcome you, sir.
So, this one, 14 hours.
Yeah, right. This one?
Yeah, I will start with this WYP.
Right. Or WPA, okay.
I can operate from here.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Slides you can change with this. Yeah.
Very good morning to all the dignitaries and my young friends. Yeah. I think control it. So, as the topic of today is IPR, how you take it from lab to market. So, before we start the IPR journey in India on VIT, so we wanted to share some of the ideas and some of the statistics from world IPR scenario. So this is the total number of patent application in 2022 with an increase of 1.7%. This is WIPO data. This I share in most of my PPTs to see where our country stands in terms of IPR and how we can improve. The next is encouraging data. You can look at the patent application from 3 countries where China is topping, followed by US and Japan. Now interestingly, if you look at the publications data, also similar data arises now. The research publication also similarly, China is topping now. Of course, Japan is not third, but followed by US. Now if you look at the largest movers from last year, India we had climbed up 31.6%, it's the 1 year data, followed by Switzerland and China. So here we have something to hope for, that India we have moved maximum percentage, largest movers, followed by Switzerland and China. So China is coming third here. So these are patent in force worldwide, 17.3 million. I'll just go through directly. Trademark filing also, these are the data. These are not very important, I'll just go through. Next one, top 3 origin for trademark also, China is topping here, followed by US, followed by Turkey. Then trademark filing, these are the movers, highest Indonesia, Turkey and Russian Foundation. Trademark, this is the force worldwide. Now design registrations we do in VIT, design registration, this is the total number. There is a slight dip in design registration all over world, is minus 2.1%. And here also China is topping, followed by Turkey and Germany. India is not in the design registrations first 3. Largest movers also, India is there in design registration, it's in the 3rd place. So these are the industrial designs which are in force worldwide, they are the data. So there are some other applications, we'll just skip this. Now with this small intro, we'll start. I'll just share some of the, like previous speaker, he was sharing his journey as a bio entrepreneur. in a cooler device. It was an eye-opener for me also. It was a very nice presentation, installing presentation. Now we'll share some of my journey as well as IPRCell journey. I joined IPRCell in 2016, almost 7 years in IPRCell. IPRCell was set up in 2014, and Professor Vijay is here. He was one of the first parts of IPRCell. So what we have achieved in last 10 years or so from IPRCell, 2014 to 2024, almost 10 years, the VIT IPRCell was set up. So I'll give you the idea how the IPR data is dealt with in VIT, how you can file an IP application, and how you go from lab to market. So if you look at the patent filing data, I think I can come up here. Now this is the national scenario of patent filing. So we have come down from international scenario now to what is happening in India. Its data is up to 2023, and you see a steady increase in the number of IP filed. And you might have seen in lot of social media also, there is a burst in IP filing now with the IP grant also. There have been almost 50 to 60%, some cases more than 80% increase in the IP filing for last 2-3 years data if you compare. Just if you compare last 2014 when we started the IPR journey in VIT, the Indian IP scenario is 42,854 were filed, and now it is going to almost double. It's 200% increase. Now this is the pendency in the patent office. It has come down. That shows the increase. Why there is increase? In India, the pendency is 2160. It was this 2014. This 2016 is come down to 120 days. These are in days. So this gives a reason why the IP filing and IP grant was difficult in India. Now due to the office action is very fast, and mostly it is done online, all the IP filing processes. The pendency in IP filing, the date of filing to date of grant, it has come down to 2160 to 120. That's a very remarkable achievement of IP office in India. Now patent grant, once you file a patent, there are several processes. We'll go through that, and after that you get a grant of patent. Now if you look at a patent grant, the periodic growth 2014 to 2022 again, here China you have maximum growth of patent grant, and of course you see India 120.2. It's not bad compared to other countries. After China we are the next one in patent grant. If you look at the growth, it's not the number, we are looking at the % rate of growth. So I was told to talk about lab to market, that is commercialization of patent. I think there are other speakers also on commercialization of patent. So we'll look at the VIT scenario, how we are trying to improve the commercialization of patent. But first of all, why you go for commercialization, why you need to market the patents. So commercialization of technology, when you license your IP from the institute can collaborate with the manufacturing industry, how we commercialize, then their technologies can be taken up by the manufacturing industry, not only manufacturing. Today we got a call from Bosch, we had a meeting with Bosch Industries also, Bosch Infrastructure. They wanted to have details of our IP on the electronics, sensing and other devices, only that part of IP, because they wanted to buy some of our licenses based on that discussion. We'll be having more discussions with them. So time has come that people have understood that we have got many IPs now. Now we have 136 grants in VIT so far. Today we stand at 134 granted patents in VIT, and we have 350 published patents. So that data is also available online. So people are coming up now to look at the IP portfolio of VIT, and they are trying to get the licenses of IPs. So this is the first thing, commercialization of IP, which can create new products, it can generate revenue for both the parties. Both the parties will mean institute as well as inventors as well as the company. So transfer of technology, IP can facilitate the transfer of technology from institute to the industry. This can lead to an increase in productivity. Investment, so IP protection can also attract investment from both the private and public sectors. So it will put more money, it will give us more research input to generate more IPs. So it's a win-win situation for the company as well as the institute if you have commercialization of IPs. Now going to the VIT story, I'll just give you what we have achieved and how our data moved over last few years, last 5 years data we'll share from here. Now IPRCell in VIT, we deal with 3 types of IP mostly, patents, industrial designs and copyrights. Now most important of these of course patents, but we are not giving less importance to industrial. Industrial designs we are getting almost 100 applications per year now from students and faculty. Copyrights we have just started, we are toddler there. We have started with 3 copyright registration from scope or computer science faculty. Now it's growing up, but we had only 2 copyright registrations so far. So VIT IPRCell link what you have in VIT website, that will take you to all these details. We also have invention disclosure form where you give the details of the IP what you are going to file, the technical details of the IP as well as the inventor details, who are the inventors. Now we have to decide who are the inventors, that means who are involved in that IP generation. It can be a faculty and a student team, and all the names will be there in IP. So if as a student you get IP generated, it can be patent or copyright or industrial design, your names will be there in the certificate that you have got filed a patent or you have a granted patent and you are one of the inventors of the patent. So before filing, faculty members can go through, you have a FAQ also there, so you can look at the FAQ and see what are the detailed steps for filing, because we don't have time to discuss all the detailed steps of filing. I'll just make a go through on that. So what we have done here in last 10 years, we have tried to create an ecosystem for IP creation and transfer of knowledge. Dr. Bala is involved with us from day one. He is now also helping us. We are going for second technology transfer now with his help and others' help. So VIT has been constantly encouraging the innovation, converting the same into intellectual property. Now intellectual property is little different from publication, because some of you may be research scholars, some of you students, so you may be always thinking whether I go for a publication from our data or whether we file IP. So that's a $1 million question. In some of the US universities, we are looking at Georgia Tech IP system, what they demand. When you have data, when you finish the experiment and you have done some product development, you first share the data with IP cell and see whether you have IP generation capability or marketability of that particular product or particular invention before you go for publication, so that we can decide and tell, okay, you file IP first, get the number done, then you go for publication if you have to go for. So that kind of system we cannot enforce here, because I think most of us biotechnology friends and SS, chemistry, they are more interested in publication, and because they will be looking at the CV. But it's as important in your CV to add that I have a patent also, that in these things that awareness should come among the students. Because VG ma'am is telling this for last 5-10 years. That is still to come in VIT. I'm sorry to say that is still to come. People still think publication is more important than IP filing. But that if it comes, then we'll see a large change in the IP filing scenario. Because I'm frankly telling you, it's not faculty who are filing the IP. It's the faculty student team who are filing the IP in VIT. We have only 5% of patents filed in VIT where only faculty are inventors. 95% of patents, students are inventors. Students, I mean UG students. We have 45% of patents where UG students and faculty are inventors. Almost 60% of patents, JRFs or research scholars and faculty are inventors. So students are stakeholders in IP. It's not that you are isolated from the IP ecosystem. So once you come up only, we can get IP. So faculty members and researchers are awarded. You have research award. We can also, now we are starting with IP certificate from IPO. We are working on that so that you can get inventor certificate, all the inventors, after you file a IP. Another very important thing, all the expenditure in the patenting process, you need not to spend a single penny from your pocket. We are from filing to grant stage as well as maintenance of patents. After it is granted, up to 20 years it is valid. Date of filing, not grant date. From date of filing 20 years the patent is valid as per the rule now. So till that maintenance period also VIT will pay the maintenance fee. So you need to do the invention in the lab or innovation in the lab and then come to us, we will file the IP for you, we will bear all the expenses and you will get inventor name. Also you get financial benefits, we will come to that. So this is the process for the IP filing in VIT. You have to submit the IDF, invention disclosure form, in the website. You need not to submit hard copy. In BTOP we have a IP filing process. You can go to IPR in BTOP and you can submit the IDF form. We have two types of IDF form. One is IDF 1, that is to give the inventor details. We have one rule here that you should understand, like research you go for collaboration. You can collaborate with number of countries, number of institutes in India and so on. But when you go for IP, you should be very careful about collaboration. Unless we have a IP sharing treaty with that institute, either in India or abroad, you cannot go for collaborative IP. So VIT IP should be cost restricted among the inventors in VIT, unless you have IP sharing. You cannot add others' name. That we are telling to faculty also and students also, so that first day itself you should understand this. We cannot do this collaborative treaty after the IP is filed. On the date of filing, you should have a treaty, how the IP is shared, and if the revenue is generated from IP, how the revenue is shared between the two institutes. Unless we have that, don't add any name from outside in the IP. That's very important, because IP are looking at legal treaty, it's not a publication. Whenever you are looking at a legal treaty, there are legal entitlements also. So this is the first part, IDF 1, IDF 2. IDF 1 you give the inventor's name, IDF 2 you give the technical details. Only 10 points, if you can download it you can see, you have to fill up only 10 points in IDF 2 now. After that we'll do a preliminary examination, we take 1 week for that from date of submission in VTOP. It's only 1 week time for IP initial examination. We'll just see whether the form is filed total is complete or not and whether technical details are captured or not. That takes 1 week for us. After that, if it's okay, we directly send it to our IP lawyers. We have 3 lawyers team working with us who do the patentability search and detailed evaluation of IP. And if the form is not okay, we call the faculty or the students within a week itself. Generally, we keep Thursday for this discussion, Thursday 10 to 12 in IPRCL office or else over email or phone. After we are satisfied that form is completely filled up and lawyers can capture the data properly for IP filing, we send it to lawyers and it takes 21 days to 30 days for the first patentability search report. In the patentability search report, what we look at 3 points. One is the novelty of IP. Second, inventive step, the invention is clear or not, technical steps are clear or not. Third is industrial application. These are the 3 steps most of the IP officers in the world look for, novelty, inventive step and the application. If these 3 are there and these 3 are very clear in your application, directly you go for filing. Filing may take 4 weeks to 5 weeks for the lawyers. Again, filing, you need not to write the techno-legal document. It's a techno-legal document of 25 pages, sometimes going up to 50 pages, that you need not to write. Lawyers will draft it. Only what you need to give the technical inputs to the lawyers for filing the application. After that, you get a file number. The file number will come to you and also you get the details in website. If you give the file number in IP website, you can get your name in the website also. That is filed. So this is the patentability search I discussed already. I think, okay, this was missed. So after that what happens? After this is filed, it is published. I have not written you because it's an event. After your public filing is done, within 3 months it is published in the IP website. We call it published patent and anybody can check the complete patent details. After this we file a request for examination to the patent office. We call it first examination report. That may take 1 year to 2 years depending on the domain of the patent. After you get the FER, then you have to answer to the FER. It can be
23-24 starting from 2019 academic year. You can see the last academic year we had almost 209 patent filed and 189 patent published and 109 patents granted. So you can see a surge in number of patents starting from initial days. Initial days, of course, it was very sporadic. Very few people used to come forward for IP. Even the awareness of IP was not there. So I can just name a few, like Professor Vijay was there, Professor Ramakrishnan was there, few of them, very few were filing IPs. So we can, handful of people were aware of IPs. Because I remember when I was doing PhD in IISc 2003, we filed 2 patents from my PhD work. That time awareness itself was not very good, but my guide was from US and he filed IPs during his PhD, so he encouraged me to file IP. So instead of publishing, I got for 2 IPs from my PhD work way back in 2003. I had to go to lawyer house and work with her on the patent drafting that time. That time emails was not very prominent. So that kind of awareness should come now in VIT and research scholars and UG students, you can go for IP now. And you can see this number going up with all your help, but number can go up further because we have almost 40,000 students here, 40,000 UG students here. We have almost 4,000, 5,000 research scholars here. Compared to that, the number is not very good, that you can see. So still the number can go up, but still going up. It's going up now, almost 100% or 200% jump you can see the number of patents granted and published. And copyright, as I told you, just started, but design you can see a large jump. Almost 100 designs we dealt with in last year. So we can look at the differences between this. You can come to our office because this is not the forum to describe the differences between design, copyright and patent. If you are having some invention, you can come to our office and we can discuss whether you can go for design registration or you can go for a patent registration and so forth. So the technology transfer, what we are doing in VIT, this is the last part. We have given the details of all the granted and published patents on our website and this is updated every 2 months. So faculty who can get the patent protection for the invention encouraged to for going for early stage. What we do if the faculty or the student team, they have a consultancy project with a company, we go for co-owned patent with the company so that a company can take up the commercialization of that particular one. We had successful
co-owned patents with Tata Steel recently, and with 1 or 2 companies in Chennai we had the co-owned patents. The consultancy project, they work with the company, develop a patent, and that can be co-owned by the company. Then we can also do fast track approach. Suppose already some company has consulted you for the prototype development or product development. They want a product developed from your lab. That case we can fast track and go for patenting for those kind of cases. We are doing for few faculty. And finally, of course, these kind of things, we have already got the awareness about patenting among VIT faculty and students. At least you know what is patent, how to go for patent. Because we see a lot of visitors coming to IPRCL asking for patent. Right from second year UG, people are coming to us. So that awareness slowly has come, but we still has to get awareness on what Bala Sahib was telling, lab to market, that kind of awareness is yet to come. The previous speaker was exactly doing that. He was giving us awareness on how you go from lab to market and how you develop a prototype. There is one more type of IP sharing, that if you want to start a startup, whether you have already a patent, that case the startup can do a technology transfer license to the university. US university is very popular. The patent holders directly, they can start a startup. That kind of thing we are not discussing here, but that kind of possibility is also there.
VIT has done that.
VIT has done that, but that process is not very clear. And the last thing is not mentioned here, when you do a commercialization, what you get? You will be thinking university is getting everything. But if you look at the US model, there is 55-45 sharing for commercialization. I'm telling you frankly, you can check 3 or 4 leading US universities in patents. There 55% of commercialization is going to university directly, 45% is going to faculty and inventors. Out of that 45%, 10% going to their pocket in US university, other 25% going to the lab, 20% going to the department. That's the portfolio they have, that's the sharing they have. So 10% of that money of commercialization only goes to the inventors. Others going to lab means it will be for research, they will be using it. But here what we have is 60-40 sharing, 60% goes to the inventors, equally divided among the inventors. Suppose you have 5 inventors, you get 10 lakhs of rupees from commercialization, then 10 lakhs of rupees, 44 lakhs going to the VIT, 6 lakhs going to an inventor, 6 inventors, each one gets 1 lakh, that we are doing now. For the first commercialization, we already transferred the money. Even the students who have gone out also, we got their bank details and got transferred the money. That we are doing. So you will be getting a direct monetary benefit if you have IP, and that is commercialized. And here we are following a much liberal approach, not only us, most of the IISc or IIT also they follow 60-40 approach. But US university there is more different approach. They give less money to the inventor, more to the university departments and other research labs. So here we are following and we are thinking of going to 70-30 approach within next 1 year, maybe 70% going to the inventor, 30% going to university, that will come. So this is the right time, the time is ripe, you can go for IPs and commercialization so that you can get, first of all you can add it to your CV that I have an IP to my name, I have a patent in my name, I have a prototype developed. Second, if you have commercialization, the money will come to you. Even if you graduate out also, money will definitely come to you. That we can assure from IPRCL. So these I think mostly things are already explained, so I'm not going to this. So these are the licensing revenues. Revenues from licensing fees, royalties and equity. Mostly we are going for direct licensing plus royalty approach. Rates depend on variety of factors like value of invention, cost of commercializing. So this is very important because generally inventors all think my invention is very viable. We had this problem with faculty. Like the commercialization fee we are getting from industry is 10 lakhs, but faculty is telling it's worth 30 lakhs. So they will always feel that my invention is very precious. So that depends on a lot of factors like cost of commercializing invention, what is the market price of it, and whether your technology license is exclusive or non-exclusive. There are different terminologies between this. So proceeds from licensing income is shared between, I just told you this, inventor and VIT pursuant to the VIT RPR policy. When there are 2 or more inventors, each shares equally, unless there is a different agreement. Whenever the number of inventors is equal sharing among the inventors. So this we got some award in 21, 22, in 23 we got this award, a jury certificate for IP recognition, rural setting invention. This is by, as you see Piyush Goyal here, he is giving the award to our previous coordinator of IPRCL, Dr. Nagesh Shadov. So thank you, you can contact us and hope this audience will be interested in IP generation VIT, and you can join the IP bandwagon in VIT, give us more. Now mass parenting is going on, we have mass parenting going up to end of this month. So we'll be expediting the patent process for mass patenting. So if you are interested, you can contact with faculty, form a group and submit the IP application online. Any doubt you can discuss with any of us in IPR cell or contact us by email. Thank you.
Ramidava, can I ask a tough
Yeah,
question?
yes, yes.
I think it may be useful
Hmm.
if VIT makes a workshop or a kind of a small course or whatever in patent filing, like what you gave the lecture today. Because as you said, because the program evaluation is on publication, they want to publish, not patent. You know the story, what I went through
Yes, yes,
very
yes.
recently, most recently. Okay, that is one. Second is, even if the patent attorney is drafting, sometimes unfortunate, it did happen to me, they don't have the expert in the field.
Right.
Because in the patent office, they are very good, excellent, but they don't have the expert in the specific field.
Particular field.
So how can we train our youngsters in examining the claims? Because the claims are the most important in deciding about your patent and its value, which when you are going to get it granted or sold. So what do you think that if there can be you, Balachandar, and maybe some other people who have experience in this field, to have a small, I don't know what type of activity, so that the youngsters, and less youngsters also, some of our faculty are made aware of this. Because these are these intricacies in the patent problem, because we talk patent, but then there are a lot of intricacies, and how to go and sell your patent, how to approach non-exclusive license, exclusive license, all that. What are the difficulties and how you go with that? I think, what do you think? I think Jai Prakash is there, Bala is there, and maybe a few more faculty. I want to have your opinion whether this is useful to get some kind of, I don't know, maybe 1 week workshop or 2 weeks workshop, something like that.
Okay, I can use this. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for a good question. I'll just answer. Yeah. So basically what we are trying to do is correct among the research scholars. Now we have started with initial the program what they have, the orientation program. With Professor Alur Molli Burman we have done this last year also, that we among the research scholars orientation program we are giving a session on IPR, very brief session, 15-20 minutes, just to tell them what is IPR and how you do it. Now we are also trying to do a school-wise session for all research scholars using the associate dean. We are going to contact all the associate deans of the school who are in terms of research, and we will be having half-a-day session for all the research scholars. Each school we will be going and talking about IP generation, how it is intricate to research, and how you can get benefits from IP, especially patent generation. That we are going to do also. But what you told, maybe 15 days program we have not thought about. We can plan that.
At least 1 week, because
Yeah.
see, it's a very
Yeah, it's 1 day is not possible. Right, right.
Even if we just talk about writing, people will not.
Right, right.
Because the difficulty is when you are really into that.
But
Sometimes
what we are doing, ma'am, will be this awareness sessions we will be doing now, this semester we are planning. But we are also doing one-to-one session with the research scholars if they are when they are coming with the forms, IDF forms, we are meeting them, and because it cannot be generalized, because mechanical faculty, it will be a different kind of IP, it cannot be generalized. So what we do, we also discuss with them. We have different domain experts, and they discuss with them when they have IP, when they are filing up the IDF, and then we also arrange with lawyers one-to-one session online. We also join the session when they have any difficulties in claim understanding. Those things we are doing, but that is all specific cases depending on their benefits. But what you told, that can be also done maybe 1 week or 2 week session on IP among the research scholars. Basically, I feel from research scholars and especially UG 3rd year, 4th year students, they are the most important stakeholders for IP. We'll be doing that.
faculty.
No, not only IPSL, we'll be forming a team and maybe we'll be doing it. Especially commercialization, we are lacking the awareness also. We are planning that, we are planning on that, and that we have to do. Of course, we'll take your help also in that.
No
Okay.
problem. I'm there
Thank you.
until, see, even if I think my brain is still very well working, and I'm interested, you know, I just want to give what.
And Professor Natarajan also will contact, I will try to bring him if possible. You had a question, brief question maybe. Huh. Okay, no, what I have shown here, the procedure is for patent, not for design registration. Design registration, when you submit it, within 1.5 months to 2 months you get the registered design. Mostly FER you don't get in design registration, only 1-2% cases we got FER. So it's much easier in design registration.
And the other thing is, I filed recently my second design patent through the VIT itself.
Okay, first of all you should say it's design registration, design patent is the wrong term.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So if I want, if it's accepted and I got it, if I go for a startup with that patent itself, so will I have to have this 60-40 ratio thing?
You can get either you can, if you are going for a startup, you can, the VIT can transfer because the license will be VIT name, that can be transferred to the startup. That is there in our startup policy also. Okay, and depending on the startup treaty you will be doing with VIT that time, the sharing will vary. It's not directly 60-40. Depending on the startup, you will be doing a MOU with the VIT that time for transfer of technology. That time, depending on the conditions and our negotiations, this can vary. You can get more also. It's not straightforward. If you are having a startup policy also, this allowance is there. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now we would like to welcome Dr. Jayaprakash, Professor and Director, Center for Bioseparation and Technology. So we request him to share his knowledge on the key challenges and opportunities present in the field of bioseparation. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, very good morning to all. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizer, Dr. Balachandar and Sudha ma'am for inviting for this talk. So I was told to present the major research activities happening in our center. So I'll be just presenting the very major activities which is happening in our center. Okay. Yeah. So before moving into the activities, I would like to tell about the evolution of this center. So this center, it was established in way back 2005 with the help of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. And it is known as a R&D center at VIT under the directorship of our Professor Vijaya Lakshmi, who was a professor at University of Technology Compiègne, UTC, France. Okay. So in 2012, this center was promoted as an advanced center for bioseparation and related technologies with the additional funding of nearly 11.6 crores for next another 5 years. Okay. And we were steered by a steering committee as well as a faculty advisory committee from IISc, CMC Vellore, AIMS, and even people from CCMB. Okay. And from 2017 onwards, VIT continues to support this center for its tempo and its translational research. So this is our vision and mission. Mission is focused on translation research through multidisciplinary approaches, interfacing both biology and chemistry. Yeah. So we approach research with a high level of multidisciplinary links. So here you can see the picture where you can see the major portion is on bioseparations, where we do a lot of purification using various chromatographic techniques. Okay. So we work on various themes like monoclonal antibody production, process development, protein expression, natural products, proteomics, polymer chemistry, and also targeted delivery. So here you can see there is a crosstalk between different fields of chemistry and biology, and we use this bioseparation in all the themes what we work on. So I'm just going to give a talk about the major activities related to our healthcare biotechnology. So first, the major theme is on chromatography and proteomics. So here we do a lot of separation science and technology, which is the central axis of the center, and it is being developed both as a science as well as a technology to be exploited for efficient product recovery. Okay. and development of studies on protein DNA and protein ligand interaction, and also as an exclusive tool for various proteomics approaches. Okay. And we also work on pseudo biospecific chromatography for recovery of high added value plasma proteins and also express recombinant proteins. Okay. And we also work on developing affinity traps, and applications have been demonstrated already for plasma proteins, PPD for tuberculosis, and even for microbial fermentation broth. So we are also developing chromatographic stationary phase through ultra high performance technology. We call it known as convective interaction media, SIM technology, with all possible chemistries. Okay. So in the center we have a BIA platform of excellence. With the it was created with the help of BIA Separations. Yeah, BIA Separation is a company. So it is a multinational company with its headquarters in Austria. Okay. So here I have just listed out the attractive features of the SIM columns. So you can see this column has very high dynamic binding even at the highest flow rates. And its simplicity in terms of scale-up linearity and ability to combine different chemistries in a single column. And we also work on pseudo biospecific ligand, especially L-histidine. So conventionally people are using protein A or protein G for immunoglobulin purification. So in our lab, we have developed, or we have worked on more on L-histidine affinity, pseudo-affinity based purification of antibodies. Okay. So we have used in silico approach to explore the molecular recognition of L-histidine with IgG, immunoglobulin, and we have assessed the feasible binding models of histidine and its moieties at different sites of IgG. And we also work on microfluidic devices as tools. So currently we work on developing efficient microfluidic chips for protein purification for plasma proteomic application, which is funded by DST. Analytic chemistry, yeah. So we also develop microfluidic based diagnostic chip for vitamin D detection. So it is again funded by a DBT project. It's a DBT project. And we also work on autoimmune disorder. So at present we work on rheumatoid arthritis, where we study the molecular features of the molecules which involved in the inflammation or triggered due to inflammation and their consequences. And we also work on neuroimmunology diseases, majorly like diseases like psychosis disorder, where we study the dysregulation of the immune system and if any connectivity to the autoimmune disorder conditions. And we have expertise who work on expression of recombinant proteins either for therapeutic or as well as diagnostic purposes. Okay, so we have developed, we have expressed therapeutic proteins like, functional coagulation factor 8. So expression has been done both in CHO and as well as in a yeast expression system, which is very difficult. And we have expressed and purified anti-TNF alpha SCFE, single chain variable fragments. And we have generated lipoprotein HDL with studies on protection for CVD cardiovascular diseases with the reduced effect of oxidation. Yeah, this factor 8 expression and many works related to factor 8, it is already patented. And we also developed express recombinant proteins for diagnostic purposes. So I have listed various recombinant proteins which were expressed for making monoclonal antibodies for diagnostic purpose. So we have developed monoclonal antibodies for these recombinant protein antigens starting from malaria, brucellosis, salmonella, and latest COVID-19. Yeah. And we have a very good facility for monoclonal antibody production, And we have developed many monoclonal antibodies. I have listed very few. So we have very specific monoclonal antibodies for Plasmodium falciparum malaria detection. We have antibodies against porine for Brucella and Salmonella detection, monoclonal antibodies to detect nervous necrosis virus infection, and we have monoclonal antibodies to nucleocapsid of COVID-19 virus, and we have antibody against chlorinated ApoE1 for early detection of CVD. So here you can see we have developed a system which we call it as a mini bioreactor module, where we can produce more concentration of monoclonal antibody when compared to our conventional T-flask batch method. So here we found that using this mini bioreactor system, using a cryogel material which was in-house developed, and we found that the production of monoclonal antibody is 10 times more when compared to conventional T-flask method. Yeah, which was, this reactor can be run for nearly a month continuously. And we also work on structural biology. So at present we are working on RNA modifying enzymes related to Salmonella typhi and lipid A biosynthesis pathway, where we look for specific enzymes involved in lipid A biosynthesis, and we work on a small molecule as inhibitors against these enzymes. So we also work on proteins, especially sortase A enzyme in Enterococcus faecalis, which is involved in the formation of biofilms. So people are doing 3D structure of this enzyme and also developing inhibitors against these enzymes. And there is one more group in our center which works on targeted drug delivery system. So we use polyethylene oxide as a potential polymeric delivery system because it is a non-toxic, it has an ion transporting ability, water solubility, and non-recognition by our immune system. Okay? So you can see here there is a bouquet structure of PEO with two ends where you can tag a target agent, and also you can tag another compound, functional compound. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, this targeted drug delivery system with this PEO, it is already patented for proving preclinical studies have been done related to anti-cancerous properties. Okay. Yeah. And finally, we also work on natural products, mainly with aloe vera extracts, okay, which for elevation of type 2 diabetes. So here we have done extracted the compounds from aloe vera, and we have validated as per the Ayush guideline, and human clinical trial and safety has been evaluated in collaboration with a company in Vijayawada, Laila Pharmaceuticals. And we are, at present, we are doing work more on molecular, how these biochemical pathways related to this particular elevation of diabetes, type 2 diabetes by this extract. Okay. We are also looking on single molecule identification, which is involved in one of the regeneration pathway of islet of Langerhans, pancreatic cells. Yeah. So so our center has services platform, like we have a mass spectrometry for proteomic services. So even outsiders, they come with their samples and they get it done, okay, mass spectrometry. And we have an instrument called Biacore 3000 surface plasma resonance instrument, where you can find out the affinity constants of your molecule, okay. And we have a very good monoclonal antibody production facility. We do service for even academic institution as well as other companies, okay. And we also give a molecular biology service platform for outsiders also. And purification experiments are designed at lab scale, and scale-up advising is also provided. So these are our workforces. It starts with our former director and now advisor, Professor Vijay Lakshmi. So I am into immunotechnology, mostly monoclonal antibody production. And we have Professor Krishnan, former director of our center. He is into protein expression. And Dr. Aisha Noor, she is in natural products. And we have Dr. Kamal Nathan, who is working on autoimmune diseases. And we have Dr. Priyankar Sen, Prakash Shukla, and Dr. Emmanuel Dhanasingh, who work mostly on structural biology. And we have mass spectrometry expertise, Dr. Sabrish V. And we have our polymer chemistry, Dr. Kalikishore Reddy. Yeah, these are the photos of our facility which are there in our center. You can see microbial cell culture facility, mammalian cell culture facility, plant tissue culture facility. So thank you. So if you have any ideas or related to the work, if you want to have more discussion, please you can come and contact. We are in the same building, 6th floor. Okay, thank you very much.
So thank you, Professor. So next we are going to have a launch of Agri Ideathon. For that, I would like to welcome Dr. Nisha, so Assistant Professor from the School of Agricultural Innovations and Advanced Learning. So welcome you, ma'am.
So very warm good morning to all the respected dignitaries and my young budding entrepreneurs. Greetings of the day. So it was indeed a pleasure to attend all the sessions, knowing more things that are even I am unaware about. Ms. Poonam have given a very elaborative session regarding the scope, the possibilities of applying and getting funds through the BIRAC. Thanks for the session. And all the experts, I don't need to mention their names, and all like distinguished persons from their respective fields have already given their insights regarding the entrepreneurship aspect. Now specifically coming, I am here representing the Vayalur School, the Agri School of VIT. We have a very unique program which is primarily focusing the entrepreneurial aspects of students, which is called as our Agri Ideathon. Actually, this was a concept that was initiated by our respected Dean Babu sir. Actually, we had a unique program in 3rd year, which is called as FAP, which is Farmers Attachment Program. So when an individual student is attached to a farmer, they could find many problems that are not common in their theory or in their classroom subjects. So they were coming up with those problems to us and asking us what we can do for this, because in none of our theory courses or classes we are learning about these kind of problems. What can be done? So we just represented this to the dean. So sir was suggesting that let us try through TBI to have some solutions or products or ideas, whatever be, so whether it can be useful for the farmers. So our primary aim or intention was just to address the problems of the farmers in the field level. So once declaring this particular program, having the initiation and all, we understood that our students have that immense capacity and capability to make these kind of ideas into really good, worthy products or solutions that can be commercialized. Thus, this particular program of Agri Ideathon came, and this is our 3rd Ideathon that is going to be happened. We had it in 2021 and 2022. So more than 6 lakh rupees were funded in each year for this particular concept, and particularly the leading students will be the undergraduate students from the agriculture discipline. And in the 2nd year or the 2nd turn of Ideathon, we could find that most of our students start finding companions or teammates from the engineering background also. So because most of the digital innovations needed their technical help. So slowly the concept got spreaded to VIT. We had many scholars or many students coming and asking, so can we collaborate with Agri School to get these kind of problems or attempting hackathons and all. So what I feel really proud and happy is that even after our 2nd Ideathon round, that particular idea became a concept, a product. Now it has become a consultancy project where that company is particularly asking multiple number of products in very short span of time. So that much popularity and credibility the product has received. That was a simple idea from a second year student. She just randomly said whether this is possible, madam. So we just thought, okay, we'll see whether it can be tried. I don't want to disclose that. So this is how this happens. This is nothing like a very Herculean thing or a giant kind of thing. That was a very small concept, because most of our problems from the agriculture may not be something that you need a very sophisticated technology and all. So I could mention some of our very relevant concepts that came out of Ideathon, like how to solve the human-animal conflict in the farmer's field, especially with elephants, wild boars and all. Some concepts were identifying the quality of this water, soil, etc., using some very simple sensors. You may have many technologies that can be used and all, but farmers really needed very cheap one, very small. Like, I was very happy to hear about SARS innovation, because when it comes to the practicality, you cannot talk about very big technologies. Something that can be readily used by a commoner. You don't need much skill, talent and all. That's what people accept. That's why we thought about such a program, which we later named as Agri Ideathon, Innovate AgTech Seeding Agri Innovations. As Vijayalakshmi madam pointed out, the TBI group is like, whatever be your issue, you just go there, you talk to Sudha ma'am or Bala sir, you always get a positive help, whether it may be something that is truly impossible also, they will make some way to get it done. That always I feel about the TBI. So madam was asking, Nisha, just come and launch the Ideathon in this particular program. That will be very, this information or this particular awareness goes to everyone. Many may not be here, but you just pass this information to all. So they will know that such a program is happening in the Agri school with the TBI. So they can also come and collab with us. So we are addressing the issues of the people or the society for the sustainability. That's what we more focus about. The school's vision is also always towards a sustainable agriculture. So just briefing what we are pointing out, what has happened in the last 2 Ideathons. So 2 Ideathons have already happened in 2021 and 2022. So you can see the number of participants. In the initial phase, the number of participants were very more. But when the number decreased in the next season, I really felt what could be the reason why we don't have very good sensitization programs and all. But what the real thing was, these 40 were the real interested groups. The first large or the bulk group doesn't mean that they are all into this entrepreneurial wing. But these all 40 are doing something now till this date regarding the entrepreneurial activity of agriculture. So all the supported projects from TBI and SSV or the E-cell of VIT, students are carrying out some activities that can be truly beneficial to the society. So that's why we are continuing this program, and I'm very happy to launch and share about the 3rd Agri Ideathon for this particular year. And we would really want to get the collab from all the similar wings and groups of VIT to merge with agriculture, so that we can give some very sustainable solutions to the farming community and thus towards a well-being of the society. So thank you all. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. It was indeed a great time to come here and know the things what happens around us. I used to tell my students that this opportunity won't comes to you at every time. So use the opportunity very wisely. Don't wait for a second chance. Okay, thank you.
So thank you for the launch, ma'am. So next we would like to call upon Mr. Muruganandam, so founder of MetaAge Private Limited. So we would request him to share his expertise on monetization of intellectual property. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you for inviting. I thank the TBA for inviting me to talk on IP monetization here. Today's session is like I'm just going to give some high-level intro on like how you can make money out of your IP. What are the different ways available in IP monetization, and it's very important to have a right strategy for monetizing your IP. So before going to like see like different methods of IP monetization, like just given a quick recap on like what is intellectual property, right? So it's a rights given to the creator to facilitate his like owner to make, sell, use or license, mortgage or donate the property. The main important aspect is like it will help you to prevent others from making, using or selling your IP. So with this IP rights, once you have, how you're going to like make money out of it. If you file a patent, like you'll get a patent certificate granted, but at the end of the day, like the reason for filing the patent is like how you're going to monetize your patent, how you're making money out of your patent. So the importance of this IP monetization is like it helps companies to enhance the business revenues. So how they can do, like for example, Apple they have a big IP portfolio on its design and technology. With that, like they have a competitive advantage in that market, and they can put a higher price on the product, and which contributes to like substantial revenue for the company. And this, if a company owns like an IP portfolio, it will help them to have a competitive advantage in the market, because that helps the company to differentiate their products from other products in the market. And if their product has certain unique features or some unique technology on it, like they can charge premium prices. That's how the Apple do, and which results in like increased profit for the company. Then having an IP portfolio, which will help the companies, especially startups, like to raise funds for growth and expansion. Like so many startups in India, like US, like they create a IP patent portfolio. With that patent portfolio, they raise like funds from investors and for the growth and expansions. And the other importance of this IP monetization is leveraging IP for the strategic partnership. The companies like Apple and Samsung, like they used to have a strategic partnership with them in mobile technology, and they came up with they share their IP with each other. They come up with the new products which will help them to expand the market. If they expand the market, obviously it results in like increased revenue or profit for the company. So some important methods of IP monetization. There are like 4 ways of like, one way of like monetizing IP is like the companies like used to file a IP to protect their own product, and they have an exclusive rights to sell the product in the market. The other ways of like making money out of the IP is like by doing licensing or selling IP assets, or like IP backed financing or strategic alliance and joint ventures. For example, like Qualcomm, they have a big patent portfolio, and they also have a licensing program as well, which will help them to generate billions of dollars annually by just licensing the patents to other companies. And there are companies like Kodak who went bankrupt, but what happened, like they had an IP portfolio, so they just sold the IP portfolio like for about $525 million to Apple, Google and Samsung. Even after it goes like bankrupt, like their IP helped them to generate about like $525 million. And there are some company, BlackBerry is like one such company who use their IP assets as collateral to secure loans from IP banking, IP financing service companies like Citigroup, and the companies like Microsoft or GE, they used to have like joint venture for developing industrial internet product. So licensing itself, like it has like subcategories in it. One way of licensing is like exclusive licensing. Licensing means like granting permission to a third party to use our IP to make product and sell it in the market. So this licensing will help you to generate revenue, steady stream of revenue without selling your IP. So you will still own your IP. Only thing, you are giving permission to a third party to make the product and sell it in the market. There are different ways of licensing are there. One is like exclusive licensing. So this exclusive licensing means like you give your exclusive rights of your patent to a third party in the exchange of like good amount of royalty or like some upfront payments, where they can like get license or permission from you, they can make the product, they can sell it in the market. And example like Netflix exclusive content license, like if a show or a movie has been like show or movie has been like streamed on Netflix, they only have the exclusive rights. We cannot like copy it or like use it or stream it in some other OTT platforms. Then there is another method of licensing, non-exclusive licensing. So non-exclusive license allows the companies to license the same IP rights to like multiple parties. For example, if I have a pharma company, if I have a pharma product, I can give license of my patent to one particular company in Tamil Nadu, maybe one particular company in Karnataka and one particular company in Andhra as well. So it's a kind of like giving same rights to multiple parties upon agreed terms. So it generally in the field of like software and pharma. In software and pharma industries, many non-exclusive licensing used to happen. IBM is like good examples, like they non-exclusively license their software patents to many companies and they generate money out of through this license from multiple companies. And another method of licensing is cross-licensing. Cross-licensing is nothing but like two or more parties grant each other rights to the respective IPs. Example, as I said, like Samsung and Apple, they have this cross-license agreement like in mobile technology. So they share, they co-develop the IP together for a new product development and benefit of like each other technologies. And another important aspect is they want to avoid the patent wars. So they help each other with their IP and they make new product and sell it in the market. Another method of like IP monetization is like selling IP assets. So this typically when happen is like if company is not doing well, or like if companies shift their focus to some other technology, or if the IP that they have like it does not belong to their core, then they think of selling their IP assets to another company. So when they typically do this, like if they don't find a strategic value in the IP, and if someone is like, if their again is like it is worth for another company, then they sell their IP assets to the company. A good example for this is like Nortel Networks. They sold their patents for about like $4.5 billion after they become bankrupt to Apple and Microsoft. And Yahoo also like sold this like 3,000 patents to Verizon for about like $740 million when it has been acquired during the acquisition. But one important challenge in this selling IP asset is like valuation. So valuation, it depends upon like many factors such as like market demand or scope of the IP or the remaining lifespan available for a particular IP. You can find the difference like Nortel patents like fetched about like $4.5 billion, whereas Kodak patents only fetch like $525 million. So this valuation is like important challenge. It's like one of the challenges in selling the IP assets, and this IP valuation can be determined based on like many factors, and some of the important factors are like market demand or the scope of IP and the remaining lifespan available for a particular patent. Then another method of IP monetization is like IP backed financing. So nowadays like many companies like who have like a big patent portfolio, they use their IP portfolio as an asset and they raise capitals like from IP financing companies like Citigroup. So this IP backed financing, which will help the companies to raise capital without selling the asset or without diluting the equity. So they don't need to like sell the assets to like a finance instrument or a finance company, and they are not going to dilute the equity also. They're just going to give their IP assets as an collateral, and they raise like capital using that IP portfolio. So Ocean Tomo is like one such company who offer this IP backed financing services. So what they do, like they generally help the companies to leverage their IP portfolio to raise some capital or funds using their IP assets. And for pharma, like Royalty Pharma is like one company which provide funding to drug developers based on the future royalty streams. So they work on the future royalty based like valuation, and they provide like capital based on the future-based royalty valuation. And BlackBerry, as I said, like they raised about like $500 million using their IP assets from Citigroup. Then another method of IP monetization, like strategic alliance and joint venture. So this is something like where two companies have like strategic alliances or joint venture together to share and co-develop their IP to get a mutual benefit for both of them. And these companies also share like the resources as well as the risk, and they combine their IP for developing a new product and for expanding the new markets as well. So Google and NASA also, they have these like strategic alliances and joint venture, where Google, they have a good data processing capabilities. NASA has like expertise in like space exploration, so they both work together to come up with some AI for like space exploration. And Sony and Ericsson also, like they have the strategic alliances like for developing technology and mobile phones. Sony, they have a good expertise on like consumer electronics, and Ericsson, they have a good expertise on telecom. So they combine, they have a strategic alliance to come up with some new technology on mobile phones. But so there are some IPs consideration has to be, we have to take into account. One is like who is going to own the IP, ownership of the IP when they have a strategic alliance or like joint venture. And in case like if there is any future IP which is coming out as a patent of addition or improvement of the product, then who is going to own that IP? And if there is an alliance dissolved, then who is going to own like what IP? The exit strategy has to be created. See, these are the some things when you have like have a strategic alliance or joint venture with some other companies. Then next, IP valuation techniques. So this plays a huge role when it comes to like IP monetization. So monetization typically happens based on the valuation of the IP portfolio. So there are different types of valuations available. One is like cost-based valuation, then market-based valuation. In cost-based, like the IP is valued based on the cost incurred to develop it, like how much money that is spent on developing a software product, and the valuation of the particular IP is like based on the cost incurred to develop that product. Example, like if software patent is developed for like $5 lakh, then the valuation of the particular IP is like same of the cost of developing that particular product. The other approach is like market-based valuation, where they compare the IP to similar asset that's been already sold or licensed. So they compare it with the market trends, and that IP will be valued based on the similar asset that has been sold in the market. So if a biotech patent valued at $2 million based on the recent sales, like the same kind of patent also will be like valued at $2 million. Then the next valuation technique is like income-based valuation, where they estimate the future income streams that the IP is expected to generate, and the valuation will be determined based on that. So this future income streams, like it will be calculated based on a number of factors. Like there are about like more than 250 factors available to calculate this, and I think Royalty Pharma is like one company who are providing this IP based financing services, who do the valuation based on this income based valuation method, where they estimate the future income streams of a particular pharma product, and accordingly they finance the particular IP asset. So the best practices for like IP monetization is like conduct a thorough IP audit first in the company and choose the right monetization strategy which works for you, whether it's like licensing or like selling the IP, or like IP backed financing, or like joint venture, or like strategic partnership. Then look at the market trends as well, and engage with some IP professional who can help you on IP monetization aspects. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Related to licensing, so which one would be better as an inventor, whether it will be good for exclusive or non-exclusive licensing?
So again, it depends upon like if you have a plan to start a company, startup company, and you want to sell a product, then I think to start with is like non-exclusive licensing for a certain period of time to a particular company. But if you don't have any plan to set up a company or something, and if the company is ready to like pay a huge royalty in the exchange of your IP license, then you can look for like exclusive license as well. But the disadvantage of exclusive license, once you provide the exclusive license, then you yourself like won't have like rights to make that product or sell that. Again, it depends upon like different terms and conditions that you are going to have in the licensing agreement.
He is asking as inventor. So as an inventor, he is asking what is the best choice, exclusive or non-exclusive. If I am the inventor, I am not the person investing in the company or doing the company, but I am just the inventor. In which case, I will give only non-exclusive, because I have the choice of going to somebody else in case this one doesn't work. Because if I am the inventor, but if I am the startup company and I am also having my invention, then that's different, then I can have exclusive. Because I am using my own invention to run the company so that nobody else can take it away from me. These are two cases. One is I am the inventor and I am also the company owner. Then it is non-exclusive. Whereas, there it is just only one person. Whereas if you are inventor and you are going to license it out, then it should be non-exclusive, because you cannot just take the risk of giving your thing to only him. And this happened already. Like for example, big companies, they will buy your invention, put it in the drawer so that it doesn't become a competition to their own product.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So there are companies like Microsoft, IBM, they have a separate IP acquisition wing, like where they look for like patents which has been filed by the inventor or startup company. In order to get a monopoly in the market, they just like acquire all those patents and they put it in the like dustbin, and they'll just keep it ideal to get a monopoly in the market.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you, sir. Now I would like to request our manager, Ms. Sudha Rajagopalan, VITTBA, to share vote of thanks.
It's time to share our gratitude to the August gathering that joined us today in this roadshow GBI 2024. And I, on behalf of VITTBA, would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to BIRAC and Ms. Poonam Bishnani, Officer Equity Schemes from BIRAC, who traveled all the way from Delhi to be with us today. Thanks to Dr. Vijay ma'am for her warm presence and insights as always. Many thanks to Dr. Amitava Mukherjee, Director, Center for Nanobiotechnology, VIT. Dr. Jayaprakash, Director, Center for Bioseparation Technology, VIT, for taking time out to be here and share their work and insights with us. Thank you, Dr. Ravi Kiran, for joining us and sharing your startup journey with us. Mr. Muruganandam, Director, Meta-Age IP, had traveled from Coimbatore to be with us today and share his insights on IP monetization. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Nisha, VIT School of Agricultural Innovations and Advanced Learning, for considering our request to use this opportunity to launch Agri-Ideathon with us and to the VITians. Appreciate and thank all the members from the offices of PRO, CTS, Media and Power for their unwavering support as always. Thank you, dear audience, for staying this long with us. Thank you so much.
Is any doubt?
Excuse me, sir. My question is to Poonam ma'am. Excuse me, my question is that whether we need to have a guide with a good researcher so that it will be helpful for us in seed grant.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Like we need to have a guide with a strong research background so that it will be helpful us for a seed grant.
Actually, seed grant is basically for the startups, those who have registered there. So if you want to apply for something like innovation, so you can go ahead with the EUR program, where we support the students, entrepreneur who are willing to become a startup later on or something. For taking the seed fund, you need to have the startup registered with the Companies Act and 51% Indian ownership. And there is no such criteria to have your guide or any researcher. You independently form a company and apply for the seed fund, you will get it.
So for call for research in BIRAC, like they have, we need letter of intent.
Letter of intent. For application.
Yeah.
I think there is a different procedures and application form for all the seed fund partners or the partners who are calling for the application. So you need to check with all the incubators for the application processes. Am I able to answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Does EUR program helps in the idea formation? If a person is with an idea itself, can he approach and can use your things?
Yes, that's the only intent we have, to have a group of students or an individual student can apply to the EUR program for this, or even we also have a Sparsh program where we support the student entrepreneurs. So you can apply there.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Yeah, we have various programs for IP as well, and we also have a separate individual division for IP and technology transfer. So I think you need to check the BIRAC website for this program. Yes, we provide, yes. So we provide every financial assistance through our initiatives, programs and schemes. Each program and schemes have different objective and intent. At a certain stage or for supporting specific activity or through equity program. So you can check your eligibility and apply to that scheme. Okay, thank you.
So once again, thank you all for your participation. So see you at Pragati Maidan, Delhi. So in the Global Bio India event in September. Thank you all.